Here's the smoker I'm going to be using to smoke the salmon today. It's a Little Chief. They used to be made by a company called Lur Jensen, and I think they were out of Oregon. But anyway, from what I understand, they were made, I think they started making them in 1968, if I recall that correctly. But that's the smoker, and what you do, it's electric smoker. It's got a lid that comes off, and this rack pulls out. The rack has 3 trays, and I got one of the pieces of salmon on the one, but it's got 3 racks and a drip pan. The company making the Little Chief smokers now is Smokehouse Products LLC, and they're out of Hood River, Oregon. I guess maybe they bought out the Lur Jensen or some subsidiary of them. But anyway, here's the little pan where you put your chips. It's got a little access port, like a little small pan. Show that to you. And just lift it up, and your pan comes out for your chips. Like I had mentioned before, my neighbor had given me this smoker a couple years ago, and this is actually the first time I've used it. I think he probably had it stored for quite a number of years, but anyway, the racks have developed just a little bit of surface rust on them in a couple of places, and I'm going to take some sandpaper and just knock that off. I've got one rack, I think has pretty significant rust on it, but this one here is pretty clean for the most part. I'll just knock that off. Well, I've been cleaning the rack up, and it's turning out really nicely. I saved that little piece of rusted material just to show you what I've been doing. Just take a small piece of sandpaper and that cleaned it up pretty nice. I don't want to be eating any rusty stuff, so now I'll wash the racks once more. I'll show you what I've been doing here on this other rack. You can see it more vividly on here, but you can see starting at this one to the right, it's got the surface rust on it, and the whole grate looked like that until I cleaned it off with the sandpaper. But I'll show you that. Alright, here's a view inside the smoker from a top view here. I'll show you the chip pan and the element. I'll pull the pan out, expose the element. But anyway, once you get your rack in and all, fill your chip pan up, slide it right back on top of the element, and it heats and smokes the chips. But you can tell from the inside of this smoker, it hasn't been used maybe once, maybe twice at the most, because most of the ones I'd seen on the internet were significantly more blackened, and you can tell this one has very little use to it whatsoever. Alright, the rack has a galvanized sheet metal drip pan in it. What I'm going to do is I'll remove the pan and cover it with aluminum foil. That will save on cleanup later on. Alright, I got my drip pan foiled up, and I just brought it over the edge because I didn't want the heating element to be in contact or be that close to that aluminum. It might give off some type of toxic emission or something, maybe if it gets too hot, I don't know. I'm getting ready to rack up the salmon on the grates, but before I do, I'll spray them down with a little bit of pan. Might keep them from sticking to it. These grates might be too wide really to do the fish, but I'm going to try it this time and we'll see how it goes. If it's in fact a little too far apart on the distance of the grates, I'll find some new grates. Well, I placed the fillets on the racks, and I've got the thicker fillets on the bottom and progressively getting thinner as you go up because the heating element's on the bottom of the smoker. Well, the manufacturer recommends preheating the unit for 15 minutes, so I'll do that, and I just also need to check and make sure the thing works. So I got a thermometer in there. I want to see how warm it'll get up to within the 15 minutes. It's pretty cold out here today. Well, it's pretty cold out here today, so I've got that piece of insulation I put around there. What it is a sun visor for a car. Well, I believe it's about the same identical material as the one piece of insulation that they sell. So it's starting to smoke, so I'll put this fish in. We've got the fillets in. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on and let it do its thing. Well, let's check the progress now. I know you're not supposed to be opening the lid all the time, but I'm about an hour into it. I've never done this, so I want to check out the meat and see what it looks like and the smoke and all that. This towel. Take a little peek in here. Oh yeah, you can see the change already in the coloration of the meat. It's fogging up my lens here. I'm going to check the smoke pan, chip pan. Well, I've taken my makeshift insulation jacket for the smoker, I'll show you there, and cut it with a razor blade. I'm just trying to gauge what we got going on here. Set this down a minute. Bear with me one moment. I just want to see how fast it uses the chips. I'd say I can go ahead and add some more. They've burnt down fairly significantly. That first batch of chips I used was apple, and man, you can really smell it. I'm gonna go on and add a bunch of cherry to it. Alright, so I got these cherry chips, Western brand, and I'll go ahead and top off our little pan with the chips. I know there's a debate I know there's a debate on people using soaked chips or dried chips. According to the Little Chief instructions, they recommend to use them dry. Well, I'm going to try it dry this time, and probably the next time I do something I'll try them wet and see what I like. Well, I got my pan full of chips. I hope I don't have too much in there. I think it'll probably burn down. But I'll go on and slide it back in there on top of our element. It looks pretty good. We'll check back and I'll probably check it in an hour and a half, 2 hours next time. Well, it's going on about 8 hours of the smoking process. Let's see what it's looking like now. I believe it's getting close. Get a little flashlight in here. It's looking pretty good. I'll take it inside and check it more thoroughly. But yeah, it's looking good. I just pulled it off the smoker after 8 hours, and this is how it's looking so far. I got a piece over here. Take a look at. Look at the center of that, and it's no longer translucent, so that tells me it's probably ready and should be safe to eat. It's looking good. Well, this is the 12th hour of smoking the salmon. I'm going to check it again. It's so cold out here. I think that's what's taking a little bit longer than normal. But it did say between 8 and 12 hours, so let's see what it looks like. that's looking good. I'm going to pull it on out, take it in the house, and give it a better inspection. Alright, I got me a fork here, and I'm going to check this bottom piece because it's one of the thicker pieces. I'll put it on this plate. Get a little closer to it to where you can see what the meat's looking like. I'll just check right in here. Pull a little bit up, and that's looking pretty good. See how it tastes. I think it's going to need just a little bit longer. It's a little, I mean, it's delicious, but it's a little soft for my liking, so I will put it on a little bit longer and check it again. Alright, pulled the salmon off the smoker for the final time this time. I've checked it all and it's good to go, man. It is awesome. It's delicious. It's all looking good and has a wonderful smoke flavor. Just check that out. It's excellent. It's got just the right amount of salt and the seasonings are fantastic. And you can really tell it apple and cherry smoke. But there you have it. I'm going to pack it up, and I don't imagine it's going to last a long time.